Prayer often gets measured by outcomes. Something changes, or it doesn't. The situation improves, or it stays the same. An answer comes, or we hear silence. When prayer is framed this way, it's easy to start asking whether it's working. Not because that's a bad question, but because it feels like the most honest one. If prayer is meant to bring results, unanswered prayers feel like failure. Waiting can feel like silence, and trust can quietly turn into uncertainty. None of this comes from a lack of faith, even though that's often how it gets labeled. It comes from assuming that the primary purpose of prayer is to change circumstances. So before asking whether prayer works, it's worth asking what prayer is actually meant to do. Maybe prayer is meant to do something deeper than produce immediate results. When Jesus teaches his disciples how to pray, he doesn't begin with outcomes. He begins with posture. The prayer he gives them is communal. It's not individual. It's not, Lord, give me what I need, but Lord, give us what we need. Prayer, as Jesus teaches it, assumes a concern that extends beyond ourselves, a way of turning towards God that naturally includes others. It's less about getting specific results and more about what prayer is doing to us. If prayer is doing something to us, then over time, it begins to shape how we live. It teaches us to lean on God, not just occasionally, but daily, to recognize need without shame, to rely on him without pretending we don't. And at the same time, prayer widens our attention. It pulls our focus beyond ourselves. It trains us to notice needs that aren't our own. Prayer doesn't just teach dependence on God. It forms care for others alongside it. Those two things, they grow together, trust and concern, leaning on God and learning to love beyond ourselves. When we talk about God making all things new, it's easy to imagine the change happening somewhere out there, in circumstances, systems, or outcomes. But the place God begins is closer than that. The world doesn't just need different conditions. It needs different people. And prayer is one of the ways that God begins that work. Not by fixing everything at once, but by slowly reshaping us. If God is making all things new, that renewal starts with us. If this left you with more questions about why prayer works or what the story of the Bible really is about, I've linked further reading in the description below.